Excellency the Vice President, the Vice Chairperson Arhaj Kigongo, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, all the other leaders, and all of you, the NRM supporters. And members of the diplomatic corps. I have heard your Bazukuru songs, the ones of Chameleon and Mayinja. I also want you to give my own of the judges. Kino kye kiseera muntekereyo kino kye kiseera that is the song of the judges. Do you have a band here? Okay, I thank you so much. Thank you. The rain is coming. We have been lucky, we have got rain today. But we should move so that it doesn't rain again. I want to thank Honorable Rosemary Seninde, and the NRM Secretariat for organizing this function of recognizing, you say, the contribution of Yoweri Museveni, but you should say the work of the national resistance movement. Yoweri Museveni could not have done all this alone. Yoweri Museveni was part of USAF in the university, the student movement of the 1960s. He was part of Fronasa fighting Idi Amin, was part of the NRA, NRM, part of UPDF, part of the NRM. So this is what we are celebrating here, not Yoweri Museveni alone. And in the future, you could remember to have those groups like the historical command of the NRA. They could have been provided for. Now, what I want to remind you on this occasion is that the FRONASA, the USAF, the NRM, when they came on the political scene of Uganda in the 1960s, there was a difference of opinion and strategy and thinking. The NRM, what became the NRM, came with what we call the mass line, the line of the masses. Whatever we do, we think about the masses, the wananchi. While previously, the line was the line of elitism. Elitism. Abasoma versus abatasoma. The NRM has always been for the abatasoma, nabasoma. Previously, the emphasis was on Abasoma Boka. But NRM line is the line of the masses, the mass line. Abatasoma, Nabasoma. And therefore, when you talk about the achievements of the NRM, you should audit Mulno Kebera, check the guidance of the NRM to the country and how it has been implemented. In the few minutes I have here, I can give some summary. On the side of security, I can say that the NRM has implemented its idea. The idea of security for all. Because remember, our line is the line of the masses. So, security for all. Now, you can check, you will see that we removed the roadblocks of the army. The army used to have roadblocks from where they would extort money from the people. Those were removed. The army killing people with impunity, that was stopped. If you kill people today, you also die for the army. So that one was implemented. Then the next mass need was Bona Bagemewe. Bona Bagemewe. Immunization for all. As I speak today, there are 14 vaccines which are being given to the people. We started with 6, there are now 14. That's why you hear that some of the sicknesses have disappeared. Polio, tekyawulikika, kawari, smallpox is no longer heard of. Orunkusense, measles, no longer heard of. Or from what? From the line of Bona Bagemewe. Immunization for all. Then we expanded the health infrastructure up to the Gombororas, the sub-counties. If you check, you'll find that almost all the old sub-counties now have a health center 3. The ones which don't have are mainly the new ones which have been created. That's why the population has grown. You are now 46 million from 14 million, 1986. That is all mainly because of the immunization. But we need to solve the problem of Okuba Edagara, Marwariro, Okuba stealing the medicine for the curative side. Then we went to Bona Basome. That Bona Basome, education for all, has been implemented, but not fully. We intend to completely remove school charges in the government schools. Twali ekigendererwa kyaffe kyali okugirawo ddala ebisale omasomero aga gavumenti. That was our intention, to remove charges in government schools. Some of the school managers have been bringing back those charges. But this is not correct. Now, I'm going to get a report from Mama Janet. It seems there is a lot of stealing of money in the educational system, and there are a lot of ghosts. So if we remove corruption in the education system, we are going to be able to educate all our children in the government schools free of charge. All of you who are here, NRM supporters, take it as your responsibility to ensure that when we are ready, we should remove charges in government schools. And in order to do that, we must get rid of all the corruption in the educational system. The air, the ghosts, the capitation grants, a lot of it is air. The people, it seems the people in the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Finance have been sending capitation grant for ghosts. Therefore, if we close all those loopholes, we can provide free education for the children in the government schools. That is now the challenge that we need to implement to celebrate the NRM achievements properly. When we, after putting that forward, education for all, immunization for all, security for all, then there was prosperity for all. Bona bagagawale. This is the line of the NRM. And we have moved well on that. On the screens, I want them to show us the chambers that are doing well. And the mirror. Ezikola obulungi muzitulage ku screen awo. Chambers. The chambers muzirabe ezo banange ebyo binazi ebyekarangara mubirabye ebinazi ebyo binazi oba nsuku ebyo binazi ebinazi ebyo, those binazi are not in Malaysia, they are not in Indonesia. Bitekeko bizeko, put them back. Those binazi are not in Malaysia, they are not in Indonesia, they are here in Uganda. Mutulage ensuku. Don't show Museveni, everybody knows him. Show, ezo nsuku, entoke, mutoleke entoke. Baliani boreka ezo ensuku emwanyi biri wano mu Uganda. Tebiri Brazil, tebiri Colombia, they are here in Uganda. You show us the cows, ente. Olaba Museveni alinetoke. Laga Museveni ezonte. Those cows are your cows. Ezamata, show the ones of the Enzungu. Mtulage Enzungu. Mtulage Enzungu zirida, obate muzirina. Ezamata. Kati, you go to the factories now. Mugenda mu factories. You go to the factories. Factories are show properly. Those are factories. Those are factories. We have got very many factories now. Okay, you show us the hydro dams, hydro dams on the roads, if you have them. Those are the hydro dams. Ago masanyalazi. Ago mabibiro ga masanyalazi. Those are electricity dams. So, okay, thank you very much. Let's continue. Now, this is just a sample of the Bona Bagagaware. Prosperity for all. Some of the people have listened to our advice. You had the lady from Chejegwa who was speaking here, giving testimony how they are doing well in Chejegwa. Yesterday, I read a letter somebody wrote to me from Hoima. It's called Irumba. And he told me that because of my repeated call for people to join Bonabaga Gaware, that they started a group in Hoima, and they are now selling more than 1,000 trays of eggs per day. And that they are earning 80 million shillings per month. And that the profit, after removing the expenses, is 50 million shillings per month. They are making 50 million shillings profit per month. If you multiply that by 12 months, that is 600 million shillings profit. And they are employing 50 youth. In Hoima, they wrote to me. So, you the Ugandans, the NRM people, you should know that those who listen to the message, they are progressing. Now, on the issue of land security, there has been the problem of evictions. This is because people don't implement what we agreed in the CA and in the Land Act. In the Land Act, NRM Yaremerako, NRM insisted that abebanja tebagobewa mu bibanja byabwe. Kiri muteeka nti ate obusulu buliko ekikomo. We insisted on that in the CA and in the Land Act. No evictions and rent, busuru, nominal rent. But because people don't implement that, that's how you get problems. Otherwise, there would be no problem. Now, Mrs. Kayanja talked about the freedom of worship. That one you know. You have seen how you all worship the way you want, as long as you don't break the law. That is again the work of the NRM. Democracy. You have seen democracy for everybody. The youth, the women, the disabled, the workers, all of them have got a voice. So therefore, I am very glad to see that you appreciate what the NRM has done. And what I would like is to ask those who are still not involved in wealth creation to get involved. Abatana netaba mubona bagagawere mwena get involved so that you are either in commercial agriculture or in yoga or services. All the channels are there. We have made the money available in all sectors. So therefore, you, the NRM cadres from upcountry, ensure that people are encouraged to get involved in wealth creation. Now, on the African side, because you have seen those factories and the farms, the more we produce, the bigger market we need. The internal market of Uganda is not enough. You need to talk with our East African comrades to consolidate the East African common market. So that the other day I was speaking with the president of Zambia. They have got a problem of maize in Zambia. But you remember they have got a shortage there. But here, a few years ago, we had too much maize. Now, what is the problem? The problem is that people do not fully implement the free trade of Africa, of East Africa. If it was implemented, everybody would be all right. There are many problems in different African countries, but if you study carefully, you will find that it is because many of us did not implement what I would call Mwalimu Nyerere Tanu NRM line. I am linking Mwalimu Nyerere and TANU and NRM together because our thinking, if you follow it, there's no way you can go wrong. Mwalimu Nyerere was preaching the unity of Tanganyika, the unity of Tanzania, the unity of East Africa. And that's what we preach ourselves. But when we also added the importance of the private sector, and you have seen how much the private sector has helped us here. So if we take that line of Mwalimu Nyerere, TANU, CCM, NRM, there's no way we can go wrong. Finding Zambia doesn't have maize, when he in Uganda have got surplus maize, is something that should not be there. It should be, you should all, when you go to these conferences, COMESA, East Africa, insist, please, let's implement a real free common market of Africa, of East Africa, so that the wealth creators in Uganda have got a big market, and the wealth creators in Kenya have got a big market. The wealth creators in Tanzania have got a big market. Now, finally, 2 points. The point of corruption. We are going to defeat this corruption. Tugenda kuwangula corruption. The present problem of corruption is because of the accounting officers. The permanent secretary, the chief administrative officer in a district, the town clerk, the Gomborra chief. These are the 4 or 5 people in Uganda who are in charge of money, government money, in charge of personnel, jobs, in charge of procurement. They are the ones in charge. So the corruption which is happening is because of these 4. And unfortunately, they have let themselves down. But we are there, we are here. I am here. I have your support. I have the support of the freedom fighters. The other patriots are there. And the victims, the wananchi, are there. So the 3 of us are going to crush the corrupt. Abasatu, fe, abarwanyi, abazirwanako, bamoyo gwa gwanga, n'abananchi ababonabona ku lw'enguzi. Abantu abo abasatu bwe twekobaana omulabe tugenda kumuwangula, omulabe wa corruption. Now, in that fight of corruption, you have not fully used the LOC system. When we started the LOC system, we were aware that there was a Gomborra chief, there was a DC, there was a Saza chief. So why did we add the LOC system? We added the LOC system, LOC 1, LOC 2, LOC 3, LOC 5, because we wanted you to defend yourselves against bad things by the government officials. So I would like you to use that system more. Buli kitundu kirina akakiiko akalondeddwa, ak'ekyalo, ak'omuluka, ak'egomborora, district council. Kati bino ebyambyone ebibeera eyo mu kyalo bituyitawa ku lwaki temubiroopa? The other day, and I would like the IGG to follow it up, I got a delegation from Kagadi, from the Bunyoro, and they were saying our children are not getting jobs because they don't have money to buy jobs. One of the speakers said that nyowe nyina milioni 10 omwana kugura omulimu, that in Bunyoro a job in the district council, in the district administration, costs 10 million shillings to bribe the district service committee and I think the cow. 10 million. ekituga okugulirira okufuna omulimu ebunyoro bwe batyo bwe bangamba kati such things how can they happen? How do you allow them to happen? Why not report these corrupt people and we arrest them? In fact, I'm going to follow it up. I'm going to tell IGG to follow up that report. So let us use the LC system fully. We put it there in order to enable us okwerwanako obukiiko obwo twabuteekako okubukozesa okwerwanako. Finally, two things. Abarorezi abanyankore omulimi endimi zeeyo balina ebigambo bibiri. Abazaani bw'obeera n'omupiira, abazaani abali omu kishaayi nibazaana. Ate ne wabawo be bayita abarorezi, abatundulizi. Abatundulizi tebazannya, bajja bajja kurorera. They come to spectate. Now, in wealth creation, saagala abazanyi n'abalorezi, njagala bonna babeera abazanyi. Wealth creation, buli omu alina okwetaba mu kugoba obwavu mu maka ge. Okwo kwe kusaba kwange. Okusaba, the second one is waliwo, you know, there are people who don't know the history of Uganda well. Foreigners, but also some of the locals, especially some of the opposition groups. There are people who think they can disturb Uganda. Ntibagala kutabula Uganda. They go to the embassies. I know which embassies they go to. Go there, drink coffee, eat pancakes and so on, and they are given money by embassies, foreigners. But what was sent? Mbubatabule Uganda. Factories are faced with Mulaba, the Tuzimbie. Amashamba ge Mulaba. Tusobola tutya okukkiriza nti wabeewo atutabula. Bw'oba oyagala kukola kola, bw'oba otagala kukola sirika totabula. Ekyo kwe kusaba kwange. Abo abalina ebirowoozo by'okutabula ensi yaffe njagala kubawaabula nti muzanyira wabi. Kubanga ebyo byonna byetukoze byemulabye wali ate byemumanyi. Bw'ogenda nga Namanve n'olaba tawuni empya ey'amakolero eryawo etaaliwo, eyo yonna munda bw'ogenda osanga y'enkulaakulana. Kulwaki omuntu ayagala kutabula? Yandibadde agamba nti nange njumbire si kutabula. Therefore, I want to assure Ugandans that we cannot allow people to disturb our peace, given all this. Look at those ezo motoka zamwe, abaana bamwe bwe bakola emmotoka ezo, baasi ezo. Balage baasi ezo, baasi ezikorodde wali Nakasongola ne Jinja. Balage basis. ezo zikolebwa abaana bammwe bye mwali mujja Japan kati tubikolera wano ate zaffe nnungi okusinga ziri eza Japan. N'olwekyo, therefore, I want to thank the Honorable Rosemary Seninde and her colleagues and the NRM Secretariat for organizing this recognition of the NRM work. But in order to really consolidate all this, cover the areas I have pointed out, the areas that still have weaknesses, because we can do much better than we have done. We have done well, but we can do much, much better. Thank you, Katonda Babere.
President